everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in this video I'm gonna teach you how to make this Supreme inspired shirt. And I'm doing it inspired because I don't want to get sued, but also because there are so many funny ideas online and you should definitely look it up and see which ones you like best. So I found that there are two ways of doing this, and the first one is definitely the cheapest. So you're just gonna use acrylic paint and a sponge. So I printed out the logo I chose, and I'm gonna leave it down below if you guys are interested on this one. And then I was basically just taking the measurements of the logo to transfer it to a harder paper so I can use the harder paper as a stencil because it's harder basically. Then I just cut out the inside to make it a stencil, and then we're gonna leave it like that for a while until we're finished with this next part, which is pretty straightforward. I just cutted the letters individually, which sounds way easier than it actually is because the letters are pretty small. So if you don't want to give yourself too much work, just make the letters bigger because it will definitely help.
Like December, so bring out your coats, bring out your sweaters. There's no telling when this weather is gonna get better.
So it is very important that you put a cardboard or whatever you have underneath the shirt before you paint it, otherwise it will bleed to the back of the shirt and it will be nasty. So there you can see that I'm just sticking down the stencil and placing the letters inside. And then I use a glue stick to stick the letters onto the shirt. And I think I should have used something a little bit stronger because if I had done so, I wouldn't have that much bleeding as I did in the end, as you're gonna see. But yeah, just keep that in mind, that just use some Elmer's glue or something like that, something stronger. So for the next step, I just took some red paint and I painted all over the inside of my stencil. And it's very important that you keep in mind to not use too much paint, otherwise you're gonna make the same mistake that I did, which is using too much paint and causing a lot of bleeding. So just use a little bit by little bit. So then I just fixed the edges a little bit just to make it look more smooth. And I just removed the letters from the shirt, and that was the final project. There was a lot of bleeding, but I think it looked great. So for the second way of doing it, it is definitely more pricey, but it does look more legit than the other one. So I just started by putting up the cardboard like I did in the last one. And for this one I used transfer paper. This one specifically I got it from Michael's for $14 and it worked perfectly, so I definitely recommend this one. You have to follow the instructions that comes in your packet, so it's different for each transfer paper. But for this one I didn't have to mirror the image or anything, which usually happens. But it basically just told me to cut out the logo, and I just made sure it was centered. So in my instructions, it said to iron the shirt before transferring anything. So I just had to peel off the back of the transfer paper and put it in the place where I had marked down previously. So it also told me to put parchment paper over it when ironing and hold it for about 40 to 60 seconds. So this is the final project, and it's totally washer machine safe, and I think it looked pretty legit. And I actually used the same technique for the Supreme logo and it looked super real. So if you want to do the Supreme logo, definitely do it this way. It's gonna come out exactly like you had gone to the store and paid $100 for it. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to check out my last video where I did a DIY Adidas shirt.